Truflation and the Truth Network. We've got some cool merch coming up. houseoftruth.com, check that out. But yeah, and what we do here is we talk about over the next 20, 30 minutes, maybe sometimes 40, sometimes 50, depends on the day and the amount of content that's been created. But what we talk about is a bit of Truflation, what's going on across the macroeconomic landscape, what new features and products has been developed on the Truflation Truth Network, what's happening across the Truth Network ecosystem. Truth Network provides a calculation agent and provides attestation associated with indexes out there for prediction markets, exchanges, or trading places where you can actually trade into the future associated with indexes and the raw data underlying those indexes. And bear in mind, those indexes cross multiple different platforms. So they're not only on equities and companies that are listed, but they're actually also associated with commodities, equities, of course, as well, ETFs, shipping data, weather event data, and all sorts of other data sets, crypto assets. So you can then actually mix and blend according to any kind of narrative. And that's why we're super happy to have index.fun be launched on top of the Truth Network. Why? Every single index on index.fun that gets created gets published to the Truth Network. And the Truth Network then also at the same time attests the outcome of every single event on index.fun for all you creators. And that's the value that it provides, which is super cool, because we're going to see a world where we will have a whole new base of future contracts. What do those contracts look like? If this happens, or if this event is greater than X, then please execute on a purchase associated with that. How do we build agentic solutions around that? By the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've changed the location of the camera. Do you like that? Is this better? Let me know. And again, always please hit the like and subscribe button just to make it worthwhile. We put a lot of effort into these streams. Hope you enjoy them. Give us your feedback. Ask a lot of questions, because with your questions, we can give you better content or more accustomed, tuned content to what you're awaiting for. I'm not sure if you see me, but have I nothing back from the team? So I'm assuming everything is all good, and we are thumbs up. That's what really wanted to cover off. I think it's really exciting right now why crypto assets are up, right? So we can see that right here. I'll share my screen and you can see, Bitcoin all-time high. We're breaking into new boundaries up here. And you can see the same for Ethereum, right? Ethereum also at an all-time high. So really great to see for all of us that have been in crypto for a long time. We've been waiting for a move. And I think the interesting element right now, and why the timing is so important, Bitcoin dominance is staying stable now. What does that mean? You look at assets like Ethereum, Solana, Sui, Chainlink, BNB, all equally moving up and encroaching in onto the share of Bitcoin. Sure, it's still up in the 60%, so it's still high. But that is really what's happening right now. So you can see in the Bitcoin dominance chart, it's still doing, it's up at 64%. It just dropped a little earlier. It's back up, but yeah, it's been growing ever since. And here I can share this chart. You can see it right here. This is on TradingView where you see the Bitcoin dominance chart. We're looking at 1 day, but if we look at 6 months, you can see it's just coming down. It's starting to come down from an all-time high of 65.6, something up there, 65.7, and now it's starting to come down to 64%. What does that mean? That means that more money is moving down the value chain. So they're going into Ethereum. And if you listened to the show last week, we were talking about how treasuries are now coming into the market, investing in Ethereum. right? We heard a couple. We saw Tom Lee launching his, Joe Lubin announced his. We shared all of that last Tuesday, but there are more and more companies establishing treasuries and doing SPACs associated with Ethereum. So that is driving adoption. And I think you can see that as well. There was a post from Ryan at Bankless. What's his name? Bankless. Oh, Ryan Adams. Is it Adams? Adams. No, not Brian Adams. Yeah, Ryan Sean Adams. Yeah, he did a post. If you look over here, he did a post about, I mean, obviously a bit of an Ethereum buff, but yeah, here, why Ethereum's for stablecoins and tokenization. And this is ultimately what's driving Ethereum, I guess, is the whole stablecoin. We've talked about it 2 years to get to $2 trillion from the 260 billion that it's at now. Yeah, so that's really what's driving that. Interesting. So he's got some graphs here. 9 years, 11 months. And oh, by the way, I've just been invited to the birthday party. There's ETH gatherings around the world for the birthday party, 10-year anniversary for ETH on the 30th of the month. So 30th of July, anniversary ETH. Find a meetup close to you if you want to go, meet some Ethereum people, and find out a bit more about the ecosystem. But yeah, it's coming up to 10 years old. And it's gone through a lot, right? So stablecoin supply, you look at what's on Ethereum and layer twos, you're looking at 142 billion. Remember, we talked about 260 billion today. It's 142 seems to be on Ethereum chains, right? So across the Ethereum ecosystem, 142 billion. What? Actually, hang on, this doesn't make sense. The layer two share is only 8.78%. So on EVMs, it's 142 billion, of which 8.78% is Ethereum. But there's how much? I guess most of it's on Tron. Ethereum mainnet, what's it? Token transfer fees. Yeah, so I guess they're really growthepie.com. Check that out. Seems to be a good website to find out more about the Ethereum community. Yeah, so lots of interesting movement around that. But I guess one of the things that's also really interesting across this is the fact that watch this video here with, I mentioned following Luke Mikic, follow his channel. He's got really good content. And he did a post here. I'm just going to play this clip right now with Eric Trump talking about Bitcoin.
Right. I mean, the arrow is going straight down as the price of Bitcoin is going straight up. I've got a dear friend. He spoke on the stage before, Simon from Metaplan, and I asked him, what's the hardest problem? And he goes, honestly, we're running out of Bitcoin. It's hard to find on the exchanges. I mean, guys, everybody wants it. No one wants to get rid of it. Everybody wants it as a balance sheet item.
Okay, this is.
So yeah, you can see that it's really hard to get a hold of Bitcoin. So OTCs, miners, they don't want to give up their Bitcoin right now. It is such a huge demand. They don't want to go into exchanges to buy it. Why? Because if they go onto exchanges, then ultimately what that means is that then it becomes more difficult and it moves the price further up. But ultimately, we've got reserves, strategic reserves at government levels that want to buy it. We've got all these treasuries wanting to buy it. And we shared a picture of the amount of treasuries that are looking to buy these tokens. So there's huge demand of Bitcoin. Now, you as retail investors, it's not too late, right? This will continue to go up. So retail is not involved in a lot of these acquisitions. All of the influencers are going to be telling you that the retail is not engaged in crypto right now. We're not seeing very much leverage on chain for crypto assets right now. So retail has not yet invested in and from the platform. Get involved now. If you want to be a part of this amazing wealth growth, you need to be in crypto today. If you're not in today, you're going to miss the whole wave, and then it's going to be too late, and then you're back in the same business that you were and have been. Ethereum, if Bitcoin's too expensive for you, don't like it, go into Ethereum. And I can tell you, if Ethereum and the people coming into Ethereum right now are talking about Ethereum being the new oil, they are all coming from the traditional finance world. They're looking at tokenization of assets. They're looking at the DeFi value of that platform. And all of a sudden, they're realizing it's Ethereum. We were there back in 2020, 5 years ago. So they're 5 years behind us. And we're already talking about Solana, Sui, Mantle, DAO, Plume, all these other chains that nobody knows about, or even the Truth Network that nobody really knows about and super undervalued in terms of the value it is providing. So as more and more of these chains and investors come online, they will get more and more familiar around the different platforms out there, the interoperability of those platforms, and we'll be looking beyond just Ethereum. What is over the hurdle? What are the altcoins? What are the infrastructure providers? Who is out there like a Truth Network that is super undervalued? I need that because I want attestation, because I'm getting other people to give me money. All of those elements are going to be really important in a world of on-chain activity. And yeah, Raoul Pal just did an interview. Check it out. I mean, it started, the system is breaking fast. I mean, ultimately, yeah, sure, you can argue it's a bit of clickbait, etc. But yeah, you know, it's definitely something to pay attention of, you know, to and yeah, here, you know, Big Short trade, you know, look here, another video that is out there. Why is my video not sharing? Because I'm not hitting share screen. Yay, dang, 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 bing. Yeah, so you can see the guy from the Big Short. Remember that here. So here, what have you got here? You've got right now, you can see Raoul Pal, AI agents are coming for your job fast. The system is breaking fast. I mean, AI, sure, AI is going to create a whole new jobs. We're a big believer in drastic drop and increase in productivity will bring down unit costs. Unit cost growth will allow greater adoption, which will create whole new sets of jobs. We've heard this over and over again. The internet is going to kill everybody, all these jobs. The machines, you know, trains were going to kill everybody in the factory. The car, the automotive was going to put a lot of people out of business. But no, each one of them had huge leapfrogs in evolution and change around economic growth, economic furtherment. But the bet and the race is on. It's on about AI. And as we talked about in the past, energy is what matters. Where are you putting your dollars and your savings into crypto assets? What crypto assets are you investing in? Which ones? Have you got some money in Bitcoin? Have you got some money in Ethereum? That's how you are going to grow wealth. That's how you are going to be able to participate in the future. And the wealth is going to be significant. You're going to laugh today when Bitcoin is at 300,000 at the end of the year or 500,000. You're going to hit yourself on the head. Today, you're thinking, I'm ridiculous. It's a crazy statement. Nobody's going to do that. But that's what they said when Bitcoin was at 3,000 and hit 20,000. That's what they said when it was 20,000 and it's now at 100,000. So these are magnitudes, and we're still really early on. You heard the demand just by Eric Trump saying the demand is super high, but the supply is not there. What does that mean? Supply limited, demand high, price go up. That's super simple economics. And people see Bitcoin as the digital gold. So if that's the digital gold, supply is limited to 21 million. The only way is up. That's sort of the simple research. But again, make your own opinion, do your own research, and make sure you have your own Bitcoin. Don't entrust others with your Bitcoin. You don't want to buy an ETF with Bitcoin. You want to have your own Bitcoin in an exchange. Set up an account with Coinbase, with Bybit, with Binance, with Kraken, with Bitstamp, and buy your own Bitcoin, and then figure out over time how to get it onto your own ledger or your own Trezor or your own whatever solution, Bbox. I don't know what the other ones are, but do your own research. Again, what is the device you want to use to hold on to your crypto assets, and then where and how best to store your passcodes, your private key details. Those are important things. You need to take responsibility in your own hand, because as we said, the system is breaking fast. The system is breaking fast. The governmental systems that we're used today, they're putting ourselves out of business by creating so much debt, right? And again, here, I'm not going to go through this, but another Big Short. Remember The Big Short? We saw that. That's the movie. Anybody see The Big Short? Let me know if you've seen The Big Short. Guys, come on, you can tell me. Click in there. Let me know. Big Short was really about the global financial crisis. It was around collateral default swaps or collateral default obligations, collateralized, yeah, debt. Sorry, oh man, collateralized debt obligations associated with mortgage. So I would take out a mortgage. I would take that mortgage. It's a AAA mortgage. It's going to pay over time. I will give you the repayments of those if you buy the repayments. So you got fixed income at a premium. So tomorrow's income today you can get earlier, or you've got fixed income with that cash flow. You can then make other projections and borrow elsewhere. So ultimately, it built a level of debt over on top of other debts. And ultimately, you would bundle bad debt together and try to make it good debt. And that's ultimately what started to happen. And that's what crumbled the whole system. What are we coming to now? We're now hitting some $37 trillion of debt. We've broken through that barrier. When are we going to break through the $40 trillion in debt? How and what are the consequences of that? That's what this video YouTube's going to start talking about, right? It's consequences of US debt spiral. So what is that? Steve Eisman was the investor that foresaw the fact that this was going to come. He was the guy that went to Miami, did the research. If you saw the movie, went to look and talk to the real estate dealers, how much they were selling, how expensive the mortgage rates were becoming, could people afford it, et cetera, et cetera. And so, yeah, this is what he's then saying. 10-year yield is evidence budget deficit size doesn't matter. So nobody cares about the budget deficit anymore. So what are the consequences? I haven't even watched this video. It just popped up now. But anyway, coming back. So now I'll go into a bit of what's going on at Truflation, what we've been working on. We've done and updated our Truflation Bitcoin Purchasing Power Index. What does this do? It looks and creates a basket of assets. And you can see in the basket of those assets, we have energy, we have metals, and we have ag products. Energy, oil, gas, and futures representing a total of 58% of the asset class. Why? Because ultimately the global environment and economy needs energy. It feeds off energy, and that's 60% of what helps drive the economy forward. Metals, another important asset. What are those metals that matter? Uranium, iron, copper, etc. So you have the metals in there, and you have agriculture. This all builds together a basket. And what does that basket represent? 171. That basket itself is a total amount of $635. So one basket is $635. So one Bitcoin buys you 171 baskets. So with Bitcoin, you can see I'm getting baskets up. With the dollar, I'm getting less and less in terms of the commodities. They're dropping. I mean, they're dropping in price right now. But in essence, what can I do? Can I look at 3 years? Yeah, look at that. So your Bitcoin bought you a while back, bought you 22 baskets. Today, it buys you 173 baskets. Okay, you can argue the price of those commodities came down, but they came down from, what are we up here? The commodities were valued at 2,800, and right now they're valued at 600. Well, yeah, so you could argue that the price declined. So in dollars, it would have been cheaper, but you still would never have had the same growth in terms of number of baskets you could buy with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin proves to be a much bigger asset. What we're trying to do here is then tie the individual commodity items to a Bitcoin so that they can get priced in Bitcoin. So see more innovation around the display and the investment opportunity and what that means for you when you're trying to compare commodities to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the new gold. Bitcoin is going to be the new basis for trade and transfer and settlement between entities. What does that look like? How does that evolve? And will it evolve into sats? Those are things that we need to look at. We've also launched House of Truth. I'm wearing merch here. You can see the Truth Network on my merch. So you can actually come here and buy our merch, right? So check it out. We've got some really cool designs. Let me know if you like these designs, which ones you like. We see it based on what you purchase. So hope you enjoy these. I'm trying to find out where you guys are at. Here you are. Nobody here. There you go. Okay. Yeah. So have a look at that, and yeah. So that's what we got. We're giving an offer. You get a discount with Truth 10. You get 10% off the purchase of some of this material. So some really cool hoodies, great designs. Check it out. You may like. What do we have? We even have across all of our products. You can see we've got some. Oh man, so many flip flops. We've got caps. We've got Truth Bomb women's fitted tank tops. We got an index.fun duffel bag. Yeah, so index.fun cool t-shirt. And we've got some really cool pins coming for Max Cap participants. We got gilet. How do I say it? Gilet. I don't know, man. A nice sleeveless puffer jacket for Max Cap GP participants. Yeah, we got nice crop hoodies for females. Yeah, check them out and hope you like those. But look, they got really cool designs on the back. Truth Bomb, Wave of Truth, right? So you can have a look at that. This is the one. I've got the QR code on the back. You can see that there. Truth 10. We'll put a link in the bottom, and then you can see that. Here, more fitted hoodie off the chain on the record, which we'll be doing a couple more interviews. We'll be picking that up again a lot more. So here, cool background, multiple logos on top of each other. Check that out. And yeah, use Truth 10. That's pretty much it. Wanted to give you that feedback. Keeping this one short. We'll have a lot more news to share with you on Monday and Tuesday. Sorry, same time, same place. So every Tuesday and Thursday, I bring this to you. And we'll have a lot more to talk about and hope the markets continue to go up. They will over time. The matter is how fast. Remember, it's now summer. So a lot of people are going to be going away. Schools are off. Everybody's away on vacation. What do they do after the vacation? They come back, they talk on the vacation, they research, they study, they talk about opportunities, where to do, how to invest. Guess what they're going to be talking about? Crypto assets, crypto tokenization of assets, the blockchains. Which blockchains are going to be talking about most? Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin's maybe overpriced. Are we going to get into that? No, we can't afford it anymore because it's already been given to governments. But just buy fractions of Bitcoins, buy sats. It doesn't matter. Stack those sats is what we say, even if you can just get in. And Ethereum. Ethereum obviously is going to be a hot topic right now. Everybody's, especially in the enterprise space or financial services industry, they're going to want to get into and build on top of Ethereum. All of you Ripple holders, Stellar holders, Stellar was up, I think, some 20%. So another great example of tokens. Where are the next level coins, right? What are the next protocols? Chainlink, Breathing infrastructure. You've got Caspa, is that the next blockchain? Manta, is that the next blockchain? Mantle, sorry, not mantra. I was thinking mantra. But anyway, lots of different assets to look at. And then there's obviously the Truth token, super undervalued, providing attestation for the future. As all of these derivatives move on chain, where do you go to get attestation and verification associated with the indexes created and the contracts created on chain? That's what the Truth Network will be providing attestation for. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye for now. Thanks, everybody. See you later, alligator. Stop.